the most viral trader on earth, a trading prodigy with hundreds of thousands of followers across the internet.
You don't need to be doing that. You don't need to be doing that. You start off as a beginner and you think that you need to do all of these 0.1% things to be an absolute pro, but then you look at the best people in the world and they focus on just 3 main fundamentals that they're the best at, and that's what works for them.
In this episode, we are joined by TJR, from ordinary, humble beginnings to being thrown into the limelight with millions of dollars to his name and being the voice of the new generation of traders.
We always say like the market's going to give you opportunity every single day, but for each trader, it's a little bit different. Like sometimes I'll see Umar, for example, up $300,000 on the week, and I'm like, I haven't traded at all this week. So there's just a time and a place for you to be able to execute with your strategy. For me personally, it's literally just like, I've dealt with mental health issues my entire life. I thought that money was the way out. I made a whole bunch of money. It made me even more depressed. Tried to take my life like multiple times. Thank God that I wasn't able to do that. From there, it was kind of like, okay, money isn't the key to all this happiness shit, and I need to find happiness in something else. And honestly, content low-key saved me. Being able to teach people how to change their lives and then seeing people's lives get changed, that's what I'm here for.
What is your views on people that take prop firms and almost casino the idea? It's a risk reward between my buy-in versus my payouts, and it doesn't matter if I'm following a good strategy or if I'm breaking even and partials in the correct way. What is your views on that? Because I see that as a big trend in younger traders.
This is something that I wanted to talk about on this podcast because a lot of people...
Ladies and gents, welcome back to another episode. I'm joined by a man that was very hard to find, TJR. Very glad to have you here, bro. Alex G, I have to give a shout out. He connected us, a mutual friend, and without him, this wouldn't have happened. So, bro, thank you for making time on your busy schedule, flying across the world from PR all the way to Dubai. Burj Khalifa behind you. Wonderful to have you here, bro. You're someone that's going crazy viral everywhere, and I don't think there's a trader on earth that hasn't seen you. Before I get into the serious stuff, I got to ask you, bro. I've seen a lot of clips, man. It seems half the time you're crashing out. I got to hear about this. What the hell is the Jew setup, bro?
What did we call that? The Jewish fake out.
The Jewish fake out. I need to hear more about this.
So liquidity sweep. I mean, look, I'm not trying to get canceled, but we know who's running shit. You know.
You just mentioned in the PR, your compound, the Ritz-Carlton, every beach is public except for this one because of. Yeah, the Rothschilds and so forth.
Yeah, Rockefellers, they made a play to make sure that shit is closed off.
Yeah, well, I was. Let's get into the serious stuff. I just had to ask, bro. I'm seeing all kind of wild stuff on the internet, but a lot of the viewers here, they just simply want to learn, up-and-coming traders or trading in their first year or two. So I want to jump right in with just strategy. And if you can, very briefly, just describe your way of trading, how you look at the markets, and then we can dig deeper.
I don't even think I would want to try and convince people to trade the way that I trade. I think that if they were just to get into trading and start and find a strategy that works for them, I'm like super against the indicators and all of that sort of thing. Like, but there are people that live in Dorado Beach that are billionaires and they just trade with their own personal funds, and they're showing me their charts with like Bollinger Bands and EMAs, and I'm like, whoa, like maybe I should switch over to this. But so I don't think I should really try and force them to trade the way that I trade. But I think if they can find a strategy that makes sense to them and at least gives them a reasoning for why the market is going to move in a certain direction, and then just rinse and repeat over and over and over again. Because I think about the way that I trade, and I'm sure you're probably the same way too. Sometimes you'll go against your strategy just based off of like intuition or market experience. Like, yeah, I'm not trading in the direction that I like mechanically should have today because I've seen something that I've seen repeatedly happen before that's leading me to make a different decision. So I think that's like the biggest issue with a lot of beginner traders, and they'll always get on me in comments and be like, you didn't trade with your strategy today. And it's like, well, listen, bro, like I've been in this shit for years now. So there's something that I saw that caused me to trade a little bit differently. They'll watch one strategy video and be like, okay, do this, and then execute. And that's great to start to get into the flow of things. But then you have to like be adaptable to the market. Like you kind of want to be in a flow state with the market. Yes. Like, I don't know, when the candlesticks are printing, I'm just like, moving with the market. And it's,
I know exactly what you mean. And I want to ask this question because it's important. Bringing in intuition or your market experience with the years that you have, I can completely see where that comes from. And at times I will do the same, because at the end of the day, if we were just purely mechanical,